In this video I convert up a Master of Possession into a Thousand Sons Exalted Sorcerer. Hello Bitzbox, it's Craig from Bitzbox.co.uk here. So yeah, in this video I'm going to take the Master of Possession from the new Shadowspear box set, and I'm going to use some bits from the Thousand Sons Exalted Sorcerers to convert them up into a unique Exalted Sorcerer miniature for the Thousand Sons. So, if you're new to this channel and you like all things miniature wargaming and role-playing, then do feel free to hit that subscribe button. We do lots of conversion videos like this one and paint tutorials, etc, etc. And I'm going to do more videos from the Shadowspear set as well, so if you want to see them and never miss them, then you can hit that bell icon as well. And before we begin, as always, just a huge shout out to our patrons. Here, you can see their names on the screen now, so thank you so much for you guys for giving us extra support for doing this channel. And if you want to know what our Patreon is all about, there is a link down below in the description. So yeah, let's get straight into it. Okay, so here is the Master of Possession sprue. And yeah, the idea is to turn him into an Exalted Sorcerer for the Thousand Sons. So I'm going to be using some bits from the Exalted Sorcerer's box along with this guy, and hopefully we'll have a nice cool conversion by the end of it. So, I'm going to start with his main body piece. Just chop that off a sprue. And what I want to do here is try and remove his head. So, I have no reason to sort of keep this head intact, so I'm really going to start just chopping away at bits. Rather than just trying to take the whole thing off in one go, I'm just going to gradually work my way down, because you don't want to take off more than you need. And it's sort of moulded into the body a little bit, so you've got to be very careful you don't take any of that body away. So I'm literally just going to be hacking away slowly at him. And probably try and get that down to a nice sort of flat area. Now it'll look a little messy at this stage, but can all be tidied up. So, not sure whether to keep this bit on the back or not. I'm going to come in with my file. Really file that down nice and smooth. And this is the head I've got. I'm not going to put it on yet. I'm hoping I can chop the neck off and stick that on there fine. So before I do that, I want to stick on the back half of his body and also his leg as well. So just chop that off the sprue. Now these miniatures from the Shadowspear box go together really well. They're lovely miniatures. So that's going to go on there like so. So I probably could have got away with chopping some of that down. I still might. Yeah, I will. You can sort of see where the sort of neck is underneath. So let's chop down so we've got that. So it's sort of rounded off, and then we get the file to neaten it up. The clippers can leave sort of jagged edges which you don't want, so neaten it up like so. And it could even be taken down further. It's really sort of trial and error, but you just don't want to overshot it. So I'm going to come in with a knife and just scrape away carefully around that area and just fire that down flat. And I think that'll be enough for that joint. So let's get some glue on this guy. Now I'm not going to focus too heavily on cleaning up all little mould lines and such. That's something I'll just do at a later date off camera. You don't want to see me sitting here doing that for half the video. So Let's get this leg on as well. Oh, really cool. Now I'm thinking actually, before I let that dry, I'm going to chop this arm off. That's what I should have done. I want to chop this arm off. So, I'm trying to get that flat. Get that tube out of the way. The reason for this is that I want to replace this arm fully, and it might just be easier just to chop it off now than later on, and before this glue dries I can get him glued back on, like so. So yeah, I'm going to glue onto his base also. Give him a little bit of time to dry. And then I'll be back. Okay, so I might actually zoom in a little bit here. Zoom a little bit better. So that's where we're at. That's going to be the basis of our conversion. So I've got some arms. I quite like this bolt pistol arm. And I thought, as I've got two arms, I'll take this arm with all the arms coming off it as well. But I also have this one. You can use any of these. But I think these are quite cool. Now, with these though, they've got a massive bit on there, and you're not going to get them on. I don't know if it would have been possible to put these on first and then put them back on. Maybe. I think they're just slightly too big, so we need to sort of take this bit off, definitely. Now you're not going to see any of this, so you don't have to be too neat with it. Chop that down like that. And again, a sort of trial and error, just trying to squeeze that in. I'm hoping this second arm will actually fit in there. It should do. I don't think that's what's getting in the way. I think it is just this bit around here. So we can really just have a go at that. Yeah, a little bit more trial and error, and I think we can get that arm in there no trouble. Need to go in at a bit of an angle, I think. So I might even just chop it down at a slight angle, just so it lines up with the angle of the body. File that down. That gives you that sort of flat angle, and then that will sit in there. Yeah, so once I sort of chop away a bit more around here, that will go in there quite nicely. I won't do that on camera because that'll take a little while. And the same here, not so much here because I can literally just chop a lot off here, and yeah, that just needs to be chopped down a little bit, I think, and again, just at some sort of have that some sort of angle, because essentially this bit here is already sculpted inside there, so that should technically be able just to come off with some of the arm. I need to be careful with this bit, mind you, so there might have been a little bit too much coming off there, but if I angle it correctly or just fill it with green stuff or something, I'm not too sure actually. I might have took a little bit too much. If it looks fun from the front, but from the back it's a little bit messy. I think I took way too much off there. But at the same time, that bit there should be up under the shoulder pad. If I angled it so it was under the shoulder pad, actually, that would look okay. So that cover it up. So yeah, that needs to go on just a certain way. But I don't know, I'm not digging that massively. So I may use my backup arm. We'll see. I need to have a play around with this off camera and we'll see what we end up with. Okay, so a little bit more chopping down. I managed to get it like that. So this bottom arm here sort of doesn't go into anywhere, but in the future I'll add a little bit of green stuff to get that going into his torso. Maybe a little bit here to make the transition between the pieces better. Bolt gun, or bolt pistol, sorry, goes in quite nicely. Could have even shortened it down even further, but I think that works. So I have a backpack for him, again just from the Exalted Sorcerers, so that's this backpack here. So going with this sort of bird skull theme a little bit, as I also have this to go on the end of his staff. So I'm going to get these pieces put on. Annoyingly, it sort of goes on facing that way. I'd like to face it the other way, but c'est la vie. So that's pretty cool. There's just a little bit to go on the backpack for some reason. And the backpack should fit okay on the back. If not, I'll chop that little peg off. Oh, try not to touch the arm. It's going to take a little bit of holding in place. There's no thing about when you're filming these, you need another hand to turn the camera off. So what I'll do is I'll be back once this is glued on. Okay, so last up we have the head. Now there are these like neck collar things as well that you could put on the Exalted Sorcerers, but they work better with the flatter back of the torso. So had I planned the head a bit better, I would have maybe made that flat and stuck that on, but as it is, it's going to be a little bit tricky to get to now, so I'm not too fussed about that. It doesn't change a whole lot, but I've got the head. Oh, just wants to fall there. Essentially, I'm just going to chop the neck off and hope that looks okay. So, let's get that chopped off. Now, I'm not going to chop it all the way down to begin with, just most of it. File it flat. I guess most of that's gone, but just a little bit there. And sort of the way it is, it's going to be looking down a little bit. I'm not a massive fan of that, but he is looking where his bolt pistol is pointing, which I always think is quite important. It seems weird when miniatures don't look where they're pointing their gun. And he has just a little bit of flash. I just want to clean up off there. I'll do a better job of that later on, but and that goes on there like so. Now it still looks a little bit messy around the head, so that's the only sort of criticism I would have of this conversion. But you know, I could use some green stuff there to maybe make like a sort of collar thing, which I think would neaten that up. It is tough when the heads are sort of moulded onto the torsos like that. They don't really end up having any neck, and that sort of makes it a little bit more difficult to convert, but you know, it works. And with that we have an Exalted Sorcerer conversion. So if you want to sort of mix things up a little bit, I mean, it looks pretty cool. And yeah, like I say, a little bit of green stuff work, finish them up, and I think it'd be okay. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this quick little tutorial video. If you have, as always, just give it a thumbs up. And if you have any requests for conversions, then definitely leave them down below in the comments and let me know if you enjoyed this one or what you would do differently. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all again next video. And just before I go, I chopped the neck down just a little bit more, and I think that does actually look better. So yeah, maybe that's the key. Anyway, I'll see you again soon. If you enjoyed this video, then please feel free to subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already. You can also click that bell icon to be notified when a new video has gone live on this channel. On the screen now are 2 more videos that you may wish to check out, and a link to our Patreon page also. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again soon.